President Teddy Roosevelt once said, "Speak softly and carry a big stick." Well, today we're going to introduce you to a man who walked tall and carried a big stick, Buford Pusser. Buford was a lawman, becoming the youngest sheriff in Tennessee's history. He confronted crimes such as robbery, illegal drug activity, bootlegging, and prostitution head-on. He was a local hero whose story made its way to the silver screen, but whose life would end in tragedy. This week, we're in Buford's hometown of Adamsville, Tennessee, and we invite you to come along with us as we share with you his story, visit his home and his gravesite, right here on History and Relics. Buford Pusser was born in Finger, Tennessee on December 12, 1937, the son of Helen and Carl Pusser. His father was the police chief of Adamsville, Tennessee. Buford played high school football and basketball and was likely pretty good at it too, being 6 foot 6 inches tall. After graduating high school, he joined the Marines, but was given a medical discharge during training due to having asthma. In 1957, he moved to Chicago, where he became a wrestler by the name of Buford the Bull. He later married Pauline Mullins on December 5, 1959, and returned home to Tennessee in 1962. He was Adamsville's police chief and constable from 1962 to 1964. After incumbent sheriff James Dickey was killed in an auto accident, Pusser was then elected sheriff of McNairy County, Tennessee, becoming the youngest sheriff in Tennessee's history. Buford quickly began trying to eliminate the Dixie Mafia, headed up by Mike Gillich, as well as the State Line Mob, ran by Carl Douglas Towhead White, two groups of rough and rowdy outlaws involved in robbery, illegal drug activity, bootlegging, illegal gambling, and prostitution, among other things. In his first year as sheriff, he raided over 40 stills and arrested 75 moonshiners. Pusser survived several assassination attempts. On February 1, 1966, Louise Hathcock attempted to kill Pusser during a robbery investigation he was conducting at the Shamrock Motel. Hathcock fired her .38 pistol at Pusser, and he returned fire, killing her. Pusser's war on the State Line Mob hit national attention when his wife Pauline was killed on August 12, 1967, during an assassination ambush intended for Buford, who was shot as well in the jaw and left for dead, but managed to survive. Pusser believed the hit was revenge, instigated by Hathcock's boyfriend or common-law husband, Carl Douglas Towhead White. Towhead White was in jail at the time of Hathcock's death on charges of bootlegging. Pusser named Kirksey Nix, who was a close friend of Towhead White and the possible contractor for the hit prompted by Towhead White. However, neither Nix nor anyone else was ever charged with the crime. By this time, Buford Pusser was already a legend and an American hero to many. He was tough as nails as he fought for justice. By his early 30s, he had already been shot 8 times, stabbed 7, and run over by felons in a car. He met and knew many celebrities, including Billy Graham, Johnny Cash, Dolly Parton, and here he is, shown with Billy Sherrill, Tammy Wynette, Johnny Paycheck, and George Jones. He also had a funny encounter with Jimmy Buffett, when, according to Buffett, Pusser and he were staying at the same Nashville motel, when Buffett decided to go out for some food and bring it back to his room. Buffett, who had been drinking, could not find his rental car, and decided to climb up on a Cadillac for a better view. Well, that Cadillac turned out to belong to Pusser, who was not at all amused to find this stranger atop his car. Buffett later refers to this encounter in his songs Presents to Send You and Semi-True Stories from the albums A1A and Beach House on the Moon. In 1970, his tenure as sheriff had ended. Pusser was a celebrity in his own right, which would soon catch the eye of Hollywood, who would forever immortalize Pusser on the big screen in a series of movies under the franchise name Walking Tall, with the first movie debuting in 1973 under a contract with Bing Crosby Productions. On August 21, 1974, Buford had contracted again with Bing Crosby Productions in Memphis to portray himself in a sequel to Walking Tall. Later that day, he found himself at the McNairy County Fair, where it's thought that he may have had a little too much to drink. Upon heading home from the fair in his new Corvette Stingray, Pusser lost control and struck an embankment at a high rate of speed. He was ejected from the vehicle, and the car caught fire and burned. Buford's daughter, Dewana Pusser, a passenger in another car, came upon the scene of the accident just minutes later. Pusser's memorial service was held at the Adamsville Church of Christ. Elvis Presley was said to have visited the family on the day of the funeral at the Pusser home, which was a newly constructed home since the first had burned down in 1971, to which Elvis graciously gave Buford $1,000 to help rebuild the home on its original site. Buford was later buried at the Adamsville Cemetery next to his wife Pauline. A memorial for Buford was later constructed at the site of the car crash. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed our program. If you like our content, we ask that you give us a thumbs up, a like, share with your friends, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell so you always know when our new content is published. And all of this costs nothing, but means a lot to us and keeps us growing. You may also leave us a tip if you choose. The address is provided here on your screen, and a link is provided in the description area below. So until next time, everyone, this one is history.